a lot of dates with television, with newspapers. You're on tour a lot. What helps you to bring with you some kind of home?
Well, I'm very lucky that I work with my sister. And part of that, we don't necessarily feel too lonely having each other on the road. But we've learned to acclimate to each hotel, you know, with just, I don't know, we kind of have our own routine. I have a pillow I bring, and my sister likes reading books, and I have DVDs, and we just sort of make it be what it is when it's not working.
So you're quite close to your sister and also to your mother?
Yes, yes.
To your brother as well?
And no, all four of us are very, very tight. So I travel with my sister, and my brother and my mother are back in California, and then they'll come out and visit together. When it's possible, they come. I think they're going to probably come and visit around September. Is a good time for them. But we're going to go back and visit them before then.
I read that you like Germany.
Yes, sushi in Germany, by the way. You know, it's not only just the curry worst that is, you know, the worsties worst. That's good too.
Yeah, but sushi.
I had a great Bavarian curry wurst. Oh my god. Oh, so good. It was like, but to me, it's like, you know, I'll never forget when an American was like, currywurst? What's that? And I was like, you don't know. You've not lived till you had some currywurst.
On tour with your new album, Resurrection. Why that title?
I felt like I was already on a path of revelations of my own self in the past 5 years. A lot of different things were happening, a lot of different things were changing, and so inside I felt myself changing a lot. When it came to, okay, I could do this tour and there could be an album coming up, I feel a resurrection title coming on, and then I got the news of cancer, I really did feel like that was probably the ultimate title.
How did you feel when you got that news for the second time?
It was much easier than the first time. The first time was a bigger shock because I'd never, ever thought I would hear it. So that took me, you know, I remember exactly hearing it the first time. I remember falling to my knees with my mom. I was just crying. It was like, oh, because I guess I thought once you hear cancer, you die. Now, when being a cancer, let's just say survivor for the last 10 years, I had the opportunity to ask myself, if it came back, what would I do? I knew I would make the decision to have a double mastectomy if it came back, and if I was allowed, if it had not grown so much that I needed treatment and all of those things. There really weren't tears because I knew, number one, this is livable. Number two, this is doable. And all I had to do was start to try to understand the undertaking of the actual procedure I had to go and do, which was a big procedure. However, I think what overshadows everything, every pain pill, every hospital stay, everything, is that I don't have cancer anymore. I don't have breast cancer anymore. So the months of recovery, the months of being down, they're months of being down. They're not months of being gone, you know? It's okay. But I had to let go of that control and put my heart back together, you know? So it was a very, very interesting journey, but within it, I learned so much about myself, you know? If in hard times, the hard times can't make you learn more about yourself, to be a better person, to be stronger, to get through it, then what was it 4. It needs to be worth something, your struggle. And that is how I look at life.
What can make you smile?
Everything makes me smile. Even talking about my crazy, toxic titties makes me smile. I mean, you just have to find a way to look at life with a sense of things don't have to be that serious.
What do you remember from your childhood? Have you been a happy kid?
Yeah, I was always a pretty optimistic child. My mom told me a story that I like to tell because I think that it's very apropos to who I am, where I have an older sister and I would get her dolls, but hand-me-down dolls, but sometimes I'd want to play with the dolls that weren't hand-me-down because, of course, they're the best dolls in the world. You want to play with the ones you can't play with. And I had broken a couple of the dolls by, pulling the arms and heads off and stuff like that. And my sister was just like, oh yeah, devastated. And that was not very nice of me. Not that I was doing it mean. I just don't think I knew any better. And so my sister didn't want to play with them anymore. And my mom would end up giving me the broken dolls, which I didn't care about. So then I'd just play hospital. With most of the dolls that I had, it was like everybody was going to the hospital and they, would like either this arm didn't move and this arm stuck up here and he'd be like, what's wrong with your arm? My arm doesn't move. Why don't you have a leg? And my mom would see me just playing and say, my gosh, instead of crying that the arm's broken, this little one ends up playing hospital with, everybody goes to the hospital if the arm doesn't work. Oh, we need to get you fixed. Okay, your arm's all fixed. And even though it wasn't fixed, it was fixed in my head that it was like, okay, I went to the hospital, we're fixed, we're going to go and eat dinner now, So it's just, that was me in a nutshell. It wasn't like temper tantrums if something didn't happen. It was, I'd figure out something to do, find a brighter light to go and focus on. Pretty optimistic kid.
Okay. Do you have still one of those broken dolls?
No. I wish I did.